Welcome. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown of we bring Hollywood home on a budget. It's only fitting that I start under this family tree because this week, the week of Thanksgiving, is our DIY Fam Jam. Creating a family from scratch if you don't already have one to call your own. And not just to blend in with, but also stand out from the modern families that keep popping up. First things first, it takes two to tango, and tango well enough to make four at least. And so today, we shall tango with a top-tier, wholehearted honey. It's all coming up next. Thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. You might be asking me, why are we here at Acme Supermarkets in Saddlebrook, New Jersey? Well, we're here for some market inspiration.
Experience the pick of the pros, only at Acme.
Okay, not that kind of inspiration. Maybe just a little bit of that, because the woman who tried to put on quite a show, as you just saw, just so happens to be the author of the cookbook you're about to see. Three-time Emmy Award-winning actress and quasi-celebrity chef, Patricia Heaton. 2 primetime Emmys for her work on Everybody Loves Raymond, 1 daytime Emmy for her work on the show that inspired this William Morrow published cookbook, Patricia Heaton Parties. All that partying and cooking and family rearing has led to her offering up 100 favorite recipes for a busy, happy life for the rest of us. In this signed copy of Patricia Heaton's Food for Family and Friends, picked up back home from One Fire Blue Thrift Store in Patterson for $3.99. And as you can see, it definitely is a signed copy. Not personally inscribed to somebody, but it is a genuine autograph, and that's good enough for me. Off to a neat start. This retails in the States for $29.99 in the US and $36.99 in Canada. And as he says, it's really about getting people together and just having fun. It's the spirit that counts. And on that note, I actually want to start off by highlighting the menus first. 8 sample menus in all that are fun, delicious, and satisfying. A summer party, a busy weeknight, a family gathering, a game day menu, weekend brunch, date night, a birthday party, and great dishes to bring to a potluck. Now this is called the DIY Fam Jam, so naturally this should be the focal point of the review. But you know what? On Thanksgiving morning, I'll have a Food Network Magazine Thanksgiving Cookazine review, a cookbook magazine hybrid. How's that? So you might be able to guess what other menu will be the focal point of this review. Oh yeah, our good old-fashioned date night menu. If it says date night, I must, I will, I shall highlight it. If anything, it's about leading by example.
We could always go to a restaurant. That's easy. But what I'd really like to do is cook you dinner at my house. How's that sound?
Nice.
All right. Let's talk about what you want to have for dinner.
And we have, as you can see, 5 deliciously seductive examples to lead on. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get cooking. First up, the appetizers. We have here bite-sized crab cakes with lemon aioli, which will make 24 bite-sized cakes serving half of what the serving will call for a dozen people. 12. Man, doing this in one hand could be a bit of a finicky situation, but I'm gonna make it work here. These things, as he says, will disappear fast at your next cocktail party, and are easier to make than you might think. Next, a skillet steak with red wine sauce and mushrooms, making 4 servings. Hey, 1 per person if you want to have a double date night at your house. Steak, it always tastes good and feels special. So whipping up a steakhouse dinner in your own home for the love of your life or the love of your life elect, that's just one top-notch example of what you could do here as far as entertaining goes. Round up 7. I don't want to lose my bookmark here. We gotta highlight dessert a little bit later. If your date is in a spirited mood, you can check out this maple bourbon old-fashioned, making appropriately 2 servings. It may sound so 40s having an old-fashioned, but it's so darn timely and effective for today's spirited daters. And finally, man, I moved my bookmark in the wrong place. This is not the recipe I wanted to highlight. It's not in the menu. Coffee glazed date night fun cakes, but you know what? I think I'll just highlight that as a bonus. We were looking for peppermint kisses or salted dark chocolate truffles, with another bonus dessert in here to highlight because all 3 of those desserts, all 3 here, are pictured in one photo. Top left, salted dark chocolate truffles. Top right, peppermint kisses. Those 2 desserts are on the date night menu. Bottom here would be the milk chocolate sea salt caramels, of which you can find the recipe for on page 210. As far as the 2 date night desserts go, these are the recipes on page 212, 213 for both of them. But as you can tell, it's just the tip of the iceberg. We have here suggestions how to make the presentation more fancy, substitutions for certain ingredients to alter the flavor, but not too much, make it more palatable, less palatable. Hey, your call. In addition to hilarious and heartwarming anecdotes on raising a family of 4 boys with a doting British husband, how come I'm not surprised? We also have here tips on feeding the family on time and on budget of any size. We also have here tips and time-saving strategies for entertaining with decor and music suggestions and serving suggestions and all that good stuff. Food for family and friends certainly lives up to its name. The world may seem chaotic, but the human mind likes to settle, even dig in a little. And I experienced that when walking in the kitchen, it's become a meditative practice and a way to disengage from all the noise. And at the end of the efforts, I have a lovely dish to nourish myself, my family, and my wonderful friends. It's a win, win, win. Of course, the recipe categories are pretty standard for any cookbook that we review, any cookbook ever published for that matter. And they are as follows. Breakfast, everyday eats and weekend wonders, fingered foods and little bites, company classics, family favorites, sides and veggies, street things, the happiest hour, and guest goodies. All that feeding a good family talk can be found here, part 1, food story. So the recipes do take up a good bulk of the book. And Anderson's photography is bountiful and delicious. Always 2 hallmarks that you need to be on the lookout for any good celebrity cookbook. I'll tell you one thing, for the second time I ever discussed Patricia Heaton in any capacity, the first one being the Everybody Loves Raymond book, the family album if you will, which I'll link downstairs if you want to see. What I like so much about this cookbook is that it's grounded, without being too snazzy. Just a little bit of snazz here and there. It's well-rounded and nourishing without being too flashy. And besides the autograph, the other thing that helps this cookbook and Patricia hit it out of the ballpark, right over here, the acknowledgement of her fans, who hold a special and a very big place in her heart. Without you, she's just an unemployed actress pretending to be a strip of bacon on the floor of some acting class, and that's not pretty. So thank you for all your support over the years. From Everybody Loves Raymond to The Middle and Patricia Heaton parties. We could have thrown tomatoes, but we threw Emmys. Well, actually, the TV Academy threw the Emmys. We just corrected the aim, I like to think. When you put all that together, you, madam, are 1 of 1, and this is a 5 out of 5 clap book. You know, if life gives you lemons, you usually make lemonade. However, if life throws you tomatoes, don't feel discouraged, feel empowered, as you can make something a little more substantial with them. You might not win any Emmys, but you'll still be winning rave reviews from your family. And that is its own reward. And if this cookbook isn't a good foundation for you to walk from, hey, don't blame me. Take it up with who they rightfully call America's Mom. That's Patricia Heaton's food for family and friends. Let me show you what's on tap for Tuesday. If I catch any one of you screaming as if we're back in London, I was take the Rachel, you will go straight to my office and discover the true meaning of punishment.
Acme.
Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.